Amen. When I was the pastor of College Heights United Church of Christ up in San Mateo, Roberta and I had been together, I think at that point, about a year, when there was the rummage sale at our church. A church remarkably like this one, which always makes me happy when I think of that thought, because I love that community so much. Anyway, we're getting ready for our sale. I go into the garage, and I saw the stack of boxes to take to rummage. I took them to the rummage sale, set up, and our members put prices on everything. But then there I was during the week, and I thought, well, I'll just get what I want to buy and buy it now. Just get that over with. So I go through the rummage sale, and I go, ooh, Roberta's going to like this. Then I'd find something else, and I go, oh, this is so Roberta. And then I find something else, and I go, oh, Roberta's definitely going to want this. And then I find something else, and I go, oh my God, this got her name on it. Anyway, I get like 3 or 4 boxes filled with stuff, pay the money in the box, and then go home, and I go, look, Ro, what I brought home. And she goes, dude, none of that was supposed to go to rummage. That's all my stuff that I didn't know about because it was all in boxes still, because we were still a new thing. Anyway, so every item that I took to rummage, every single item that I was not supposed to take to the rummage sale, every single item I had purchased back because I recognized it was her kind of thing. It was uncanny. So she was charmed, and the church made some money on stuff that wasn't supposed to be there. Still laughing about that one. But that's the joy of patio sales, rummage sales, garage sales. Yes, all the marvelous discoveries that we can make at these events. Yesterday I went to a garage sale in Ojai, and it's pretty funny. There was a little box with and lying there was a naked Ken with 2 naked Barbies on either side. And I just looked at that and go, very interesting. Very interesting. Only at a garage sale would you see a sight like that. So who knows what kind of titillations you will encounter at our marvelous garage sale. I can't wait to find the exciting items. So yeah, it's fun. Fun for people who come, fun for us. Also a relief to get stuff out of our way that is just cluttering up our lives. Yay. Yay for rummage, yay for patio sales. Looking forward to it, as always. Today, by way of sermon, I decided to do a little rummaging around in my files. As you know, I write just a bit. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff in there to rummage around and look for things that I might think are treasures. And so I put together a list of what I call oddservations. Odd observations. My one-liners and things that I've observed. A kind of a rummage sale for the soul and the mind. I got the idea for this from a good friend of mine, a couple of guys that I was pals with. One in particular was very close to still. Anyway, in their place that they shared in Berkeley at the seminaries, in their main room, they had a piece of butcher paper that went from one floor up the wall, across the ceiling, and down the other wall, one continuous sheet of butcher paper. And in the middle at the top it said, "Things we like." And they would just write down observations, things they observed or saw or thought about, and put them on this paper. And then we would just lie there on our backs and read them and just go, whoa, trippy, fun, weird, great. Great way to have a party. I recommend it. Just do that, have people add to it, and gawk at them. Same idea. Kind of a thrift store, a patio sale, a garage sale for the mind and the soul. So here's what I dug out of my rummage. And I invite you to ponder these things and respond. We're going to have a little combo here. So the first one, and then these, I keep adding to them constantly, adding to this list that I dug up from my files. The chief end of man is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. That's the first line of the Westminster Catechism, which is the statement of faith of Reformed Protestantism. Yes? So here's my observation that goes with that. The corollary to that is the chief end of God is to glorify humanity and enjoy us forever. Any responses to that heresy that I just uttered? No thunderbolt yet. Does that feel heretical? Any responses to that? Is this rummage you would buy or rummage you'd leave alone? Is this something you'd take to the sale or something you'd take home from the sale? Ponder that. The chief end of God is to glorify humanity and enjoy us forever. Another one. I am the peacock who spreads his feathers and then pecks for grubs in the dirt. I am the peacock who spreads his feathers and then pecks for grubs in the dirt. You know, showing off, trying to be a big shot, but then, you know, doing what I got to do in the grubby world like everybody else. We're all in this mess together. The handsomest peacock still has to peck for grubs. Yeah. We still got to get down and dirty. Any other observations to go with that observation? Please. I'm sorry?
Or beg for grub and things. Yeah, because I was at a eating lunch. Where was I? I was somewhere in the Balkans, sitting out, and the place was filled with peacocks, and they were all showing that. But then they were coming around to where we were eating and looking for handoffs. Does that fit?
Sure. You're being grubby. All right, Calvin.
The grub does not notice if the peacock has beautiful feathers.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, okay. This is fun. We're going to add to this one.
Well, I think we've all heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm, but that doesn't work out too good for the worm, does it?
Yeah. It's an invitation to being vegetarian. Yeah. The high and the mighty, the gorgeous, the beautiful, the famous. You really get down to it, we're all on a level in the end. Another one. I am not an Orthodox Christian. I'm an otherdox Christian. Trying to put others first. Yeah? So, heresy perhaps, but then when you step back, it's like, maybe that's not heresy at all. Maybe that's the whole point of what Christ was about. My job as a minister is to listen people into life. My job as a minister is to listen people into life. Your job as a minister is to listen people into life. Does that sound right? Any experiences of where that's happened, where you've listened somebody into life? I bet Steve has done it 1,000 times. Social worker. Others? Yeah, Carla. Just yes.
My role, same thing.
As a physical therapist. Listening. And then, almost up. Yeah, Carol. you listen to your brother-in-law and his travails. And what a difference it makes. Yeah, Steve, please. I'm running toward you. Hold on.
One of the exciting things about being a therapist is that when you have clients make a major breakthrough and you're there to watch it. And I remember thinking, what's the common denominator of those experiences I've had? And it was a session where I didn't say anything.
Yeah, amen. Amen. I'd say speak it, but that would be contradictory. Amen. So true.
Frank Johnson was a master at that.
Frank Johnson, pastor here, master listener. Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I'll never forget, I used to take Stanford students out to the strawberry fields of Salinas and Watsonville every year to learn about the farm labor situation, which was always an eye-opener for them. They're just blown away at what a mess the strawberry industry is in particular. It's really that's a tough job. And tough labor conditions. So we went out one afternoon to visit some sharecroppers. Believe it or not, sharecropping, you think, oh, that's something that happened after the Civil War, blah, blah, blah. No, it's still happening in California. Yeah, mostly Hispanic people are just one step above being field workers. They'll rent land from a farmer and then raise strawberries and then take all the risks. But then the strawberry packer decides the price, tells exactly what to do, how to do it, when to plant, what fertilizer to use, what pesticides you must use. Zero decision making, take all the risks, and take that chance. So that's still happening in California. So we went out to visit some this father and son team of sharecroppers. And we're standing there in the field. I got 15 Stanford students listening to two farm workers talk, asking them questions. And at first they're kind of like this, talking, muttering, kind of like embarrassed. But then my students listened and asked more questions and took notes. And these farm workers, these sharecroppers were so moved by having somebody listen to them that you could see it. Their heads lifted up and their voices got stronger the longer the students listened to them. And I turned and saw this student next to me weeping, crying, because she saw it too. She saw how listening brought those men to life. Be here now, and then you'll be ready to go there then. Be here now, and you'll be ready to go there then. How does this ring true, false? Is this something you'd leave on the table at the rummage sale? Be here now, and you'll be ready to go there then. Yeah, Carol. You want to come back and being in church is being here now. Yeah? And then we're here now, just now. And then we go forth and we're ready to go there then and do what needs to be done in the world. Yeah? Yeah, please, Les.
Oftentimes we have like this crappy experience in life or different or thinking about the crappy ones and we go have to go through that. And then the kids who somebody you love, you're able to prevent them from an error or share a wisdom of an outcome that might have to be prepared for because it happened to you anyway.
Yeah. Experiences you wish you hadn't had, but then you encounter somebody that needs to hear about that story. And life has changed. Yes, please.
Well, I think the human existence is based on experience. And what we decide today is based on what we did yesterday. There's a lot of hope for tomorrow, but tomorrow's still waiting out there. We got to deal with now.
Amen. Amen. Couple more. The trouble with rummage sales, too much stuff, right? You and I get ahead when nobody else gets left behind. You and I get ahead when no one else is left behind. How does that play out? What's the truth or falsehood of that one? Any thoughts? Is it really true? That's another question. I just, warm up to get you thinking, I just think about healthcare in America, right? We're like the only wealthy, industrialized country that doesn't have guaranteed health care guaranteed by the government. Israel, which we give billions of dollars to every year, has universal health care, has single payer, right? And we give them money, Nobody's talking about that. They have better health outcomes than we do because of it. And so this is one of those things where being stingy as a country with health care, like most of us don't notice this because most of us have health insurance, right? From our jobs or from Medicare, etc. So we can think, oh, we're fine. Why should we worry about anybody else who isn't fine? It's like, it doesn't affect me. Reality is, though, it does affect all of us. Because if people can't pay their medical bills, what happens? It jacks up the cost of medical care for everybody. Right? So we pay more in our health insurance premiums. We pay more out of pocket because leaving people behind actually costs all of us money. And it would be cheaper and more efficient by far to make sure everybody had coverage. I just think that's one example of how, as a matter of actual fact, we get ahead, all of us get ahead, when the least of us, when the most vulnerable of us are not left behind. Here's one. I want to take less credit and dish out less blame. I want to take less credit and dish out less blame. Because, and just for myself, this is something I try to remember. I have to work at remembering it. Work at remembering how lucky I am. How extremely lucky I am. In 1,000 ways that result in very good outcomes in my life. And 90% of it is not my doing. Yeah? And so if I should clean up my act and not give, not take so much credit for what's good in my life, at the same time, looking at others and realizing that they've got reasons for why they do things that I don't like that they do. There's more going on than meets the eye with folks who otherwise I might blame. So this is something I'm working on all the time. Any nods out there? Yeah, do I hear an amen? Yeah. One more here. I'm realizing this is like 3 sermons worth here. So it goes with rummage sales, yeah. So much stuff, so many items, too little time. Look for leaf causes, not just root causes. Look for leaf causes, not just root causes of problems or things we need to solve or fix. Look for leaf causes, not just root causes. Any thoughts on that? How does that one ring or not? You don't get it, okay. Well, the leaf, I'll explain. That means it's not so good because I have to explain it. The leaf cause means the leaf is the product of the roots, ultimately, right? So leaf causes, that's what draws us into the future. You know, the future can cause things, you know, our vision and our hopes and dreams for the future can be a cause of change in the world today, right? So we look for root causes of problems, and we want to address root causes. But we also need to have the leaf causes that inspire us to do better and to do different and to be creative, and to fix the problems of our society and to reach out and serve the most vulnerable and be effective at it. So look for the leaf causes, the ways that our vision of the future causes change in the present, change for the better. There's more on the tables of this rummage sale, but let us continue now in worship, singing.